Okay, I had to reset a few things, but it appears to be working again. Guess it's just not the day. Alright, hello everyone. I'm Alan, also known as McLaren2009, and I'm attempting to get back into Derail Valley. If my Oculus Rift wants to cooperate with me. The verdict's still out, though. Seem to be having some mic issues. But I'm thinking it's fixed now. Or at least it looks like it is. So just give it a couple more seconds for the game to finish loading. And I'll get that opened back up. I guess this is just the week for technical difficulties for me. Crazy. I had to restart my computer, then I go back to my desktop, find out that it installed the Acrobat Reader, even though it's already on my computer. So then I'm just like, okay, where did that come from? I already had that. Then I updated something, and it was just like weird. Then I had to unplug and reconnect my headset, and I guess it's working now. Okay, so here we are back in the wonderful world of Derail Valley. And we need to release that, put that forward, turn this on. We gotta go back here. This on. I no idea why those are in two different positions, but it's whatever. Pair this with this. The MU cable is still connected. Alright, so we're going to pick up where we left off. We are attempting to carry random infectious substances down south to the harbor before we started having problems and the stream started dying. So, we're going downhill, so we don't want to speed up too much in between the technical difficulties with my headset and my stream in general. I was starting to hear like the creaking, like my train wanted to derail. Luckily it didn't, but the possibility is always there, especially since we're going downhill pretty much all the way to the harbor. Alright. Let's go. I gotta check to see if I'm getting my background music. Let's go over here. Yes, I am. Awesome. But the real question is my microphone still working, or did it start freaking out again? Okay, good. My mic is still working. You know, when I decided to get back into streaming, I never considered that VR might not be the best option. But here we are. This game doesn't even have storms yet, and the trees are blowing like crazy. Alright, so yeah, we're making our way down the mountain from the military base down to the harbor, carrying a questionable, classified, some kind of biohazard. Best guess is, I'm thinking bioweapon, and probably why the valley doesn't have any people in it. They're all zombies. Or just dead. But it's whatever. Now, luckily, both sets of cars are going to the only inbound track at the harbor, so we're good in that regard. That's not good. Still lagging. Alright, yeah, basically this part is a lot of downhill. And it's relatively steep downhill, too. So you gotta keep a close eye on the speed. And as per my usual system of doing things, I'll apply just enough of the train brake to see the speed start to fall, and then release it when it gets to a reasonably safe speed. And we'll keep slowing down as the pipe builds up pressure again. And then we'll only start speeding up again once the pipe is back up to working pressure. So it's kind of like a time delay on and a time delay off. And since we're going through a couple of areas that have a 30 km/h speed limit, want to be a little bit careful in this area. So things don't get too out of hand. Okay. Now this is a very short train. It's only 7 cars, and each one of those cars is 19,000 kilograms. So this is an extremely light load, and I do not by any means need both locomotives to be on, but we've got them on, so we're just gonna roll with it. At least this way we have, hypothetically, 2 air compressors building up air pressure. But with that being said, the air compressor is not in the game yet, and it won't be here until simulator. So we just have to pretend that having 2 locomotives on makes even the slightest difference with how the game's set up as it is now. I want to try branching out and playing a few more VR games, even though they tend to have some complications with my stream. Because VR is just such a cool way to play games in general. If I try one of the more combative games, it'll be interesting, even though I'd be standing while doing it, so it would be a lot more physically involved, and I would need more space. But those streams are oddly entertaining. Basically, this trip is supposed to take like 20 minutes, but it's going to take like an hour because we're going down like extremely slow to make sure we don't cause any problems or break anything. In theory, I could go up to like 50. But I don't know where the slow zones are going to start again. I haven't made this trip enough times to be overly familiar with it. Let's keep double checking on that. Okay, we can go 70 here, allegedly. But I got a feeling it's going to get a little bit lower down here by this S. Alright, still not freaking out, so we're good. So, since these are both going to the same track, I don't have to worry about switching anything around. I just have to disconnect the 2 different sets of cars when I get to the harbor. And really, I don't even need to do that. I'm just doing it by choice. And more than likely I'll do something completely unrelated and do like a civilian cargo next time I play. Just have to see what's down there and what's available. The military cargo is cool, but there's just not much up at the military base. And then the only other alternative would be to go to the machine factory military base, which it would make sense to do a logistics haul up there, because then we can bring back like tanks and other fun stuff like that. Another fun day working on I guess we're going uphill for this portion. Some scenery items that I've never seen before. Oh, right there. Yeah. See it in one of the clips, and I seen it, and I was just like, are we going to talk about that? Has there always been a castle? Well, it turns out, yes, there has always been a castle. I guess it's right there. So it's right up here, right where the commenter said it's supposed to be. Maybe at some point I'll have to go up there and check it out. But for now, we gotta get our questionable cargo down to the harbor. So that's the play for now. Let's brake a little bit. I got so distracted by my stream going crazy on me that I forgot to make a note of what position the coupler chains are in for my locomotives. Is that's like the running thing on this channel. Complaining about Schrodinger's coupling mechanism. And you drive past the mountains and you just see things like clipping through all of reality, and you're just like, this is fine. And let me grab a drink real quick. Now, let's continue this perilous adventure going down this mountain. I'm curious to see if when a simulator comes out, the things like a couple of the speed limit signs being like driven into the ground is going to be fixed. Like, that one is still good. I don't think that one's a problem. But there are a couple down by the harbor. And I think a couple out... No, it's not there. It's here. You know what? Actually, I don't remember exactly where it is. But the bottom line is there are a couple of posts that somebody just went crazy with the pile driver and just pounded them into the ground to where you can't even read the sign anymore. Oh, it's this one over here by City Southwest. Basically, you can't see the grade sign anymore, and the speed limit sign is like just touching the ground. So it's like somebody took the pile driver and just like slammed it in there as hard as humanly possible. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of like weird that you just can't read the sign anymore. I guess this part of the valley is pretty cool. See, when I play like a VR game like this, I don't expect like insane graphics. It doesn't have to look photorealistic. It's just cool to be able to put on the headset and now I'm in a different place. Like, this is infinitely more immersive than any video game on the computer I could ever play. So even though when I play something like Train Sim World, and I can walk around in the cab of a real, or a model of a real locomotive, this is not a model of a real locomotive. But by putting on the VR headset, it feels like I'm actually in it, you know? So it's just like a completely different thing. So, like, I'll be constantly complaining about the background and, like, the scenery in Train Sim World and how it leaves a lot to be desired. But then I will go into this and I won't say any of those things because this takes a lot to play. It takes a lot to run this. So by being in VR, I'm expecting to lose some parts of like the background, and it's not going to look particularly pretty. Especially since you can quite literally walk around this entire game world. And you would think that in something where you cannot walk around the entire world, they would put more into making it look aesthetically pleasing. Whereas something like this, or any VR game with a lot of free locomotion, it doesn't look the best, but you can do a lot more in it. Whereas the things that you can't necessarily do a whole lot, but it looks amazing. It's kind of like a give and take sort of thing. That's the way that I look at it. Is the really cool thing about VR is you put on the headset and it's got the little like cups and shrouds that kind of like block your vision from outside of the headset. And for all practical purposes, I can move my head and I am looking around everywhere. And whatever I want to look at, I can. And then the really cool thing is, wherever I want to go, for the most part, I can go. Now we're kind of limited in the sense that we can only take vehicles on places that have tracks. But what else are you gonna do? You know? Alright. So let's keep braking. Yeah, it would not be fun to just yeet these cars off a cliff. They're not explosive, but at the same time, we don't exactly have a manifest of what it is. It's just redacted. Again. Yeah, those trees are like really blown over. Driving a train through a hurricane, I guess. But we're coming up on the harbor now. And then we gotta pull all the way through, go up this hill, and then back into the military base. And then you would think, well, we can just go straight forward and pull into the roundhouse, but no, we can't. we've got to go back up this way and then back up towards the roundhouse. So we gotta turn around to go into the military base, and we gotta turn around to back up into the harbor. It's all a big, crazy process, but it's just what you gotta do. And double check that, make sure it's not freaking out on me. Yeah, I gotta be like excessively paranoid lately because I'm having some bizarre technical difficulties. Although realistically I don't even need to go to the roundhouse, but we're going to anyway. And then I'm thinking about trying a different game, like one that I have really wanted to try playing on stream. It's another game that, like Derail Valley, I've pretty much only played it in VR, even though you absolutely can play it on a flat monitor like a normal person. But the one that I really want to try playing on stream is Phasmophobia. I really like that game, but I haven't put a whole lot of time into it. And I'm curious to see how it goes, because they've had a couple of really big updates recently. And I just want to see what all's changed and how it's different. But then I also want to try going into like Tales of Glory again and seeing if I can turn off the background music and then just stream that. The first one is really cool because it's like medieval, like sword fighting. And then the second one is with guns. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I played that one on stream. And it was like a chaotic mess where nothing worked how I wanted it to work. But yeah, when I transferred it over to YouTube, I found out that the music was copyrighted. You were allowed to stream it. It's just minor inconvenience, so I ended up pulling the video. And then the time limit expired on Twitch, so it's not on Twitch anymore. And since I pulled it off of YouTube, it's not there either. But it might be cool to try and stream it again without the music this time. Maybe using my, the playlist that's on Streamlabs instead. Okay. It'll be cool when we can turn on the bell. One day I really do need to look up the signaling rules for cranes here in the US. I'll get around to it at some point. Alright, let's grab this. Throw that in there. Grab this. I guess I didn't turn it off. And as you can see, we got to get all the way around here. Because the other alternative would be to go into here nose first and then go back here to the runaround, which 2 locomotives are not going to fit. So yeah, that's not happening. But we're going to back up into this track right here. And we got more nuclear fuel if we really want to do that. Now, where is my train? It's right there. Alright, so the plan is take this train past this switch, back up into here. And yeah, that's all set up to go into the inbound track. And we got that taken care of. Alright, so we get this last car past the line. And we can start backing this thing up. And we're still going 10 or 11 kilometers an hour. Alright. Sometimes the independent works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of weird. But the thing is, we've got to be careful with this switch and with that switch. And it might just randomly decide to just stop us arbitrarily. It's great. Or it could just mess me up entirely and just, like, fling my cars off into space or something. Because you know how much people love that. These get, like, damaged or anything. Doesn't appear so. Alright,
We didn't make it. We just gotta shove through this barrier. Just gotta force our way into the station. Alright, now we gotta force our way through this switch. Basically, there's a lot of times you gotta try a little bit harder to get your train to go where you want it to go. But luckily, when I finally got up the nerve to actually ask on the Discord server, they know about this problem, and it's absolutely getting fixed. So, end of Q2, should see it fixed when Simulator comes out. Damn it. So hopefully we won't have to do this anymore. Alright, 4 cars are up front, 3 are in the back. So this was a horrible use of having 2 locomotives, but since they're literally in sequential order, I'm going to keep driving them everywhere. Yeah, I decided after my last stream that I wanted to move my chat window a little bit over so that it's slightly behind me so it won't regularly be in view, but the option will still be there. That way it's always open so I can check on it to see if anybody's attempting to talk to me, but it won't be where I'm normally looking in the game. Now it'll be a little bit different if I do like a game where I start standing up. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because I found out that that is not pinned to me or my headset. It's pinned in my play area. So where that is, if I start walking around or move forward or backwards, it stays there, and it doesn't matter where I am. So basically that could inadvertently be a way to tell if it's no longer over my shoulder, I'm close to punching the wall. So having it pinned in my play area might actually be helpful in a weird sort of way. rocket these out of here and go turn these in and call it a day. Or, well, maybe not call it a day right now, but we'll at least get an idea of what jobs are out there at the moment. In. Now these actually do pay pretty well. And we didn't break anything. Yeah, those are all going to the military base. Oh, I mean, obviously. It's like I can hear them, but where are they? Although I do need to flip this back forward. Because if I do come back that way, I'll back in instead of pull in. And now we go over here. Realign this switch and back up to the roundhouse. Alright. Alright, we get those backed up. Basically, this is all in the interests of making it so that my locomotives are facing out of the harbor. And then it just makes my life easier a little bit. Alright, clear that bump. Now I think this area might also cause a problem sometimes, but I haven't had as many issues with this specific switch. Those two, definitely. This one, not so much. But that being said, we can only go 20 on the turntable. Now we just back up into the roundhouse, get these filled up, and then we'll go over to the normal station office and see what jobs are going out of here. Probably lots of jobs as per usual. Yeah, things kind of reset when you leave and they go back to normal. Forgot there was a speed bump at the roundhouse. Just getting onto the turntable is a problem. 68, 33, and 56. Okay. Let's go up here. Kill this. And let's get out of here the proper way this time instead of facing through the wall. It's going to be a rough adjustment period when they take away that. I mean, it makes sense. They're calling it the simulator update. Why in the world would you, It's like, why would you ever let people just walk through walls? Okay. And let's go up here, turn this off. Kill that. Kill that. Go back out here. Yeah, since it was like all downhill, barely used any fuel getting down here. I did not need to fuel up at all. But it kind of makes up for the fact that I had to I had to do the service on the locomotives at the station office at the military base because they don't have a service track. So that ended up being like $70-something thousand, maybe even 80. So paying $8,000 to just top off the fuel for both locomotives is fine. Yeah, a little over $8,000. All right. I do wonder if my shovel ended up in there at one point. Well, I mean, that's an idea. No, not that. Goods factory. Not really paying much. Loading. That's an idea. So yeah, it looks like we don't have a whole lot going on at the moment. The steel mill and the goods factory seems to be the move for next time. And 1.7 million. Not doing bad. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what I want to work on for next time. So as a bit of a recap, brought down some classified infectious thing from the military base to the harbor. Had some technical difficulties with my stream once again. And yeah, got back here, refueled the locomotives, and now we're back in the harbor once again with our locomotives fully refueled and ready to roll again. But that seems like a good stopping point for now. So this has been Derail Valley. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.